What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Tetra Ninja, and this is going to be my second Destiny update video. And with House of Wolves being officially announced to be released on May 19th, I thought that you guys would want to check out what type of gear I'm rocking these days, what type of weapons I have, and in general, what my opinions are on some of the best gear post the Dark Below DLC. So House of Wolves is the second DLC that is going to be coming out on May 19th, and I personally am a big Destiny fan. I play a lot of this game with both my friends, and you guys have probably seen a couple of videos of me and Brad, and I do live stream every Tuesday this game, just going through the weekly reset stuff, heroics, nightfalls, and of course raids. So yeah, even though this game is very polarizing, those who love it, and those who didn't like it absolutely hate it, but that's okay. Not every game is for everyone. But anyways, we're gonna drop right into the tower here, and we're going to check out my character in depth and check out the vault and all the other stuff that's going on. Alright, so we dropped into the tower right here. We'll first take a look at all the characters. I choose to wear my helmet in the tower. This is something that came about during the 1.1.2 patch that allows you to wear your helmet in the tower, amongst other things. First off, we'll check out what type of gear I have. So you probably saw earlier, I do run all three characters, and I actually own every single exotic weapon and armor in the game. So this is all the Warlock stuff on the right. There are 4 helmets, 2 gauntlets, 3 chest pieces, and there are no boots, exotic boots for the Warlock quite yet. It's actually the only class that does not have exotic boots. And yeah, if I were to choose my most favorite of each type, the Apotheosis Veil is probably the best Warlock helmet, just because of the environment of Crota's Raid, where you can't regenerate health. This allows you to regenerate health off orbs as well. If you activate your super, you automatically regenerate health as well, so it's very useful. In terms of gauntlets, I use the Sunbreakers. Those are probably the best gauntlets, just because if you're running through the abyss, you can throw down a solar grenade and makes your solar grenades last a little bit longer, so Thrall will stay away from you. In terms of chest pieces, even though mostly I wear the raid one the majority of the time, if I were to choose one for PvE, it's probably going to be the Heart of Praxis Fire, just because it allows you to use your grenades as well as your melee when you're supered a lot faster. And as well, if I were to do Crucible or PvP, definitely going with the Void Fang Vestments, just because it gives you a grenade every single time you die, which is very useful. This is what they look like when you equip them. And for the shaders, I'm using the Dead Orbit Revenant shader, and then for the ship, I'm using the Bane of the Dark Gods, the ship that you get from the hard mode of Crota's Raid, rocking off with just an uncommon Dead Orbit emblem, using the Sparrow from, once again, the Crota Raid, and the Red Ghost, which you get from buying the limited edition of the game. So yeah, that's my Warlock. We'll definitely move on to the next character, which is going to be the Hunter. Alright, so this is my Hunter. She dances very sexily just because she is an Awoken. And this is actually the last character I created, and I actually re-rolled this character like 3 times. I first started it off with a male one, and then I created a female human, but then I decided that I wanted one character of every single race, and the only one I was missing was the Awoken. And in my opinion, the Awoken dance the best, as you can see right here. Those hips don't lie. Alright, so in terms of gear, once again, I have every exotic piece of armor. The reason I have 2 raid helmets is because this one has the ability to replenish health off of an orb of light, which is basically something that you usually only find off exotic armor. So got really lucky there. If I were to choose what helmet I like the best, it's really depending on what class you're playing as. If you're playing as the Golden Gun class, then definitely the Ackley of Age Symbiote. If you're using the Blade Dancer class, then Mask of the Third Man, just because these 2 helmets really complement the super as well. In terms of gauntlets, I don't even use this one at all, even though I upgraded it for kicks. The best one is definitely the Don't Touch Me. That allows you to go invisible if you get melee attacked, which is really, really useful during the Abyss part of the Crota raid where you're running around away from the Thrall. So if you get hit, they can't hit you. I mean, they can't see you basically, so that's useful. And in terms of chest pieces, there are really only two to choose from. One that you want to use is dependent on which game type you're playing. If you're playing something like Skirmish where there's revives, then definitely use the Chest of Alpha Luffy. If you're playing just regular Crucible without any revives, then I just go with the Lucky Raspberry. Once again, just using, just like with the Void Fang vestments for the Warlock, it gives you a grenade right off spawn every single time you die, so you don't have to wait for the rebuff time. So yeah, I find that's very useful. And this one actually does have, this class does have exotic pair boots, which are the Radiant Dance Machines. They really aren't very useful, even though they look super cool. They have like that Naruto Susanoo glow to them, but the only thing they really do is they allow you to move a little bit faster when you're aiming down sight, which isn't really the hugest thing in the world. So on the other things, once again using this, basically the exact same thing, almost the exact same thing as the Warlock class, such as the ship and the Sparrow. Red Frontier Shell Ghost. I use this emblem. I think I bought this one from the speaker for 26 modes of light, which is ridiculous, but it's pink and it's fitting of a female hunter. And the armor shader is the Bitter Steel, which is once again another Dead Orbit shader. This is almost the exact same thing as the Revenant one that I have on the Warlock right now. I have two of these Revenant ones, but personally I feel like I like a little bit of the Bitter Steel white to it, just to kind of mix up in contrast. Alright, so that is my hunter. We'll move on to the Titan. Alright, so this is my Titan. This is the second character that I ever created, and he is definitely dancing like a human. Get up, get down. Anyway, so in terms of gear, once again, all full raid gear, as well as all the exotics. The glass house looks really cool. What it does is increases the duration of the effects of your warded on, so weapons of light and blessing of light. Don't really use it that much though, even though it looks super cool. This helmet is the Helm of Inmost Light. It's really good for Crucible. It gives you the ability to use death from above, as well as making you a little bit harder to kill when you use your super. I don't really use this one that much, which is the Insurmountable Skull Fort, mainly because the only reason I used it before is because it generated health off an orb, once again for Crota's raid, where you don't regenerate health automatically. But since I have this one, I don't really use it. If I were doing the raid, what I usually use is the Ruin Wings, which gives you more ammo for heavy. It drops heavier ammo, which is suspect sometimes, because sometimes I feel like it doesn't really work. But not only does it do that, but it gives you more ammo off each individual purple pack, so that's mainly why I wear it. This one is probably the coolest looking one, which is once again has like a Susanoo effect to it, but it's almost basically useless, so no one ever uses this other than just to look cool. In terms of chest pieces, there's only two once again. There's the Crest of Alpha Luffy, which is the exact same thing as the Hunters. It makes you revive faster, and the Armamentarian, which gives you the ability to carry more heavy ammo, as well as gives you an extra grenade to throw. The heavy ammo perk is almost useless because it doesn't stack with the feet perk, so you don't carry more. It doesn't stack twice, so the second perk's almost useless on it. And just like the Hunter, there are a pair of exotic boots, which are called the MK44 stand-asides. Once again, pretty useless. The only thing that they're good for is increasing your duration of your shoulder charge, which you really only do in Crucible. But if you want to go in Crucible and cheese a lot of people off, you just run around just trying to shoulder charge people, and people get mad really, really quickly. The class item is the item that you get from the Vault of Glass. So yeah, I like this one the best, but I usually rock one of the faction cloths just because I'm trying to level up something. In terms of the other stuff, once again, almost the exact same thing. I'm using the Future War Cult emblem. Let me just actually get back to 32 here. I'm using the Future War Cult emblem as well as this generic Thunder Devil shader that you can actually just buy. And once again, the ship from the hard mode Crota raid. Alright, so those are the 3 characters. Let's go talk about what type of weapons we have going on. You guys didn't get to see my Warlock dance, so we decided to bring him back. And the Warlock was the very first character that I created. He is an exo, and he kind of looks like a Crayola box exploded. That's what someone told me once, which is completely true. And amongst all 3 classes, he's definitely my favorite to use, just because it's probably the most well-rounded. Alright, so let's talk about weapons and what am I using these days. So in general, these are the weapons that will probably get you the farthest in the game. If you have them, you're pretty well set for just the post-game content that requires you to do raids and such as the new stuff like the Prison of Elders or the Trials of Osiris. If you have these weapons that I'm going to show you, you're really well off. So first off, the Fatebringer, it's basically an exotic weapon. It's a legendary weapon with exotic stats and perks. It hits like a truck, and if you kill something with a critical hit, they explode and damage the surrounding enemies, which is really, really awesome. And it has that arc damage, which is a little bit rare. Not many weapons have arc damage. The Vision of Confluence is a fully auto scout rifle. It's, once again, just like the Fatebringer, a Vault of Glass weapon. What makes it so good is that you can carry a lot of ammo for it. It really hits very, very hard. It has an elemental damage of fire, and you don't have to tire out your fingers by constantly tapping on the R2 trigger, because most scout rifles require you to. I think this is the only scout rifle that I've ever seen that has full auto, which is very, very useful. In terms of snipers, right now I mostly use the Black Hammer just because I have an icebreaker for this character. It's just in the vault right now. The reason why I use the Black Hammer is just because it hits harder than an icebreaker. You can't carry. It only has 3 shots before you reload though, but it kind of counters that by if all of those 3 shots are critical hits, you automatically refill your magazine, which is awesome. So it's almost like you have unlimited ammo. So if you're facing big characters with really big critical hit points, it's very, very useful. You can stun lock them very well. As well, so the reason why I don't use the icebreaker that much is because after 1,000 hours of playing this game, I finally found my first ever Gallahorn, which is probably one of, well, it's the hardest hitting weapon in this game on a single shot. And the wolf pack rounds just do so much work. And like I said, it took me 1,000 hours into this game before I found my first one. So yeah, it's very, very useful. But yeah, those 3 weapons, Fatebringer, Vision, well, all those weapons, Fatebringer, Vision of Confluence, Black Hammer, or Icebreaker, plus a Gallahorn, or basically any other rocket launcher that has tracking will get you pretty far into the game, and you should be in pretty good shape. So those are the weapons I carry on me. I have 3 of each of those weapons that I just listed off for you guys. My 3rd Icebreaker is in my vault right here, and my vault is pretty stocked, I must say. Once again, have every single exotic in this game that includes weapons. So I actually found my 2nd Gallahorn last week, which was really, really fun. I posted a video on it. I wasn't expecting to get it, but after we beat Crota and we went to the orbit screen, it just popped up for me. So these are the weapons that I generally don't use. I just keep in collection just because you might as well have some sort of goal, and collecting is a big thing in games such as these. And yeah, all the other legendaries I don't really use unless there's a specific burn for that week on the Nightfall. So what a burn is basically an elemental bonus damage that you get, which changes every single week. So yeah, generally weapons that I do not use. And yeah, that is basically it for all the stuff that I have and use in Destiny pre-House of Wolves. And on that note, I'm letting you guys know now that I'm actually heading to Bungie Studios on Friday, this upcoming Friday, and I am going to be checking out some of the House of Wolves content a little bit early, and I will be able to post early gameplay for you guys to check out. So if you guys are still watching Destiny videos, I'll definitely have some early footage for you guys to watch. I'm not 100% sure what they're gonna let us do. It's basically strictly embargo and hush hush at this point of what we're actually doing while we're there. So my guess is we'll probably do some of the multiplayer on the new maps, and maybe check out the new strike mission, maybe some of the story mission. Probably not the story mission. They usually leave that for the actual game and launch. And what I'm hoping for is to check out either the Prison of Elders or the Trials of Osiris. But once again, I do not know exactly what we're doing there, and I do not know when I'm going to be allowed to post up the videos yet. So that's something that I find out when I actually get there. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this Destiny update video pre-House of Wolves. I'll definitely be doing some House of Wolves gameplay for you guys to check out as well. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. As always, if you enjoyed the video, drop the video a quick rating. And as always, have a fantastic day. Signing off.